Okay? So we have this new style of bongo playing that became popular because of the recordings. It wasn't that Augustin was the first to play Martio, the hammer pattern, but he was the first to document it on recordings, and so it spread like wildfire amongst the other percussionists. And he was also the first to start using this large bell, the cencerro. When he first started to play on the recordings, if the song was in 2/3 clave in the montuno, he'd play this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it was in 3/2, he'd play like this. But then he started using the characteristic pattern that we utilize today on salsa recordings. First, he started playing a 1-bar neutral pattern like this. No matter what side of the clave it was, it would fit. Let's say it's 3/2 clave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it was 2/3, same pattern would fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then he started outlining the clave by giving it a 2-bar pattern, the bell, okay? So on the 2 side, he'd play this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 3 side, he would play this. And we put those 2 together: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it was 3/2, he would also occasionally do this using the side of the bell. So now we have 3 pitches. Okay? And if it was 2/3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it was 3/2, okay? So you can hear and see that we have melodies happening in the percussion in very, very subtle ways that lift the music, change the feel of the music, etc. Then in the 1940s, the great Francisco Chino Pozo, who played bongo with the Machito Afro-Cubans, develops broken bell patterns that we still use today to uplift the music and make it more swinging in the montuno section, especially in the big band context when saxophones come in with multiple riffs going against the trumpets and trombones. So instead of doing this in 2/3 clave, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You do this. Or this. And then occasionally do riffs within the context of any of those patterns and other patterns that he would play. So, there you have a little bit of the history of the evolution of this incredibly beautiful yet humble instrument that is at the heart and soul of Cuban music, the bongo. Some of the players that you can listen to, well, there's 2 that come to mind right away. The great Johnny Rodriguez, probably the most virtuosic bongo player living today in terms of sabor, flavor. Louis Bauzo, also New York-born Puerto Rican, just like Johnny. Also, fantastic bongocero, and his work with the bell, the sincero, is fantastic. And of course, Anthony Carrillo from Puerto Rico, who is a virtuosic player from a technical standpoint. And then, of course, from Cuba, well, I did one of his characteristic riffs when you saw me playing the bongo at the top of the video. The great Armando Perraza, who brought this instrument to new technical heights in the 1940s, 50s, and beyond, and then worked with the great Santana for many, many, many years. So for Jazz at Lincoln Center, this is Bobby Sanabria. When we come back on another video, I'll break down the Martio for you, but first, I wanted to give you a little bit of history on the instrument, because without knowing the history of the music that you play, well, your playing will always lack in substance. Again, for Jazz at Lincoln Center, this is Bobby Sanabria. See you sooner than later.